Namaste, namaste to all our beloved people there. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome to Awakenings Moments to Inspire. My name is Angela or Angel, and I just like to welcome you here today on this glorious May 12th in the energy of the 8 of Ascended Numerology, of the crystalline energy of the when you think of an 8, think of it on its side of infinite energy. And this is infinite crystalline energy that's just out there for all of us to grasp a hold of and to expand ourselves with. But what are you expanding? Are you expanding peace, love, joy, abundance? Or are you expanding fear, lack, and judgment? The energy is neutral right now. So whatever we feed to it, we get back. So let's be feeding it peace, love, and joy. I am just pleased to be here today with all. I want to get a few little housekeeping things out of the way before we begin our show, because I want to devote as much possible time to my guest as I can. And I want you to be able to experience as much of her and our co-creation together as possible. I wanted to let everyone know that I am beginning a new moon ceremony circle beginning on May 30th. You can go to my website for more information and to register. And my website is www.watersofselfascension.ca. So watersofself-ascension.ca. And you can find out some information there and register for the event as well. I do plan on sending out some emails as well. So if you'd like to get on our email list, again, just go over to the website and you can send me your email from there. Great. Now, what other goodies do I have to? Oh, I think that was it. Perfect. So how I usually open the show is to have a breath exercise that I'd like to do. And it's called the Avesa breath practice. And it is very simple and very easy, but it allows us to get into that grounded, co-creative space where we can all enjoy each other's energy together. And so what we do, for those of us who are not familiar with the Avesa breath, and if you'd like more information on that, please go to shriankira.com and you can learn more about that and the Yoga of Self Ascension. But I would like to do some Avesa breaths now. And basically what it is it's an inhale through your nose with imagine a golden light coming up and around the back of your head and down through your body and out your mouth. And this golden energy is there to cleanse, to give you more oomph in your life, and for you to embrace and use throughout your day. I also like to do it when I'm getting prepared for the show. It helps to calm everything down and prepare you for your day. And I find it very helpful even when going to work and doing things like that too. So simple. In Ave is, you think Ave on the inhale, again, through your nose. And what Ave means is hail. Hail to the divine, hail to the universe. I like to think of to the divine spark inside of yourself and inside of everyone else in the universe. And Sa is a exhale, an exhale of surrender to the moment, surrender to the energies that are there, so that you can then take it and turn yourself around if you need to, or to ground yourself, whatever you need to do with those energies. But it's a surrender to those energies. And it's just, so again, hail, Avi on the inhale, Sa on the exhale. And we'll do 3 deep breaths. And then when we're done, we'll send all that beautiful energy out to Mother Gaia, who needs it ever so much right now. So here, Ave, Ave. Ave. Mm. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do that. So today I have a very special guest, and I am just absolutely excited that she agreed to be a guest on my show. This is a woman I was introduced to about 4 years ago through watching Shri and Kira, but I never actually got to meet her via Zoom until about a year or so ago. So, but I've been watching her and been inspired by her, and I have enjoyed every moment I've watched her, and she has helped me in so many ways. She is truly a teacher, mentor, healer. And she is none other than Jess Juntunen. And for those of you who don't know Jess, she is a woman, a warrior woman, first of all, and a mother, and she is also a doula. I think I accidentally put down initially that you were a midwife, but you were a doula, right? Is that correct?
Well, I am a midwife to the awakening spirit, but yeah, I am a birth
Yes.
doula. Yes,
Birth doula.
I do
Yes.
assist with
And a
births.
minister of Yoga of Self Ascension.
Thank you.
And now the president of Avesa International. You are just on fire, girl. And I'm so happy to be with you today.
Feeling the
So
heat. Feeling the heat.
I'm feeling the heat too. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods, but here in Ontario, I think we went from sweater weather to 30-degree heat in less than a week. So I'm sitting in my beloved pyramid sanctuary, and I turn my air conditioner off so you guys don't have to hear it. But I'm like, whew, it's a little warm, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely went from chilly to very warm. And then this morning it was a little chilly, but I'm kind of regretting my long sleeve decision right about now. But it's beautiful. It's spring. We love spring. It is the time of rebirth. It's May. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for leading us in the Avesa breath and opening. I feel honored and grateful to be sharing here with you today and our amazing audience with Oneness Talk Radio. So thank you.
Thank you. And I see Batya is on saying hello and love you. So awesome. So I don't have a call board, Jess. So we interact mainly just through chat right now. One day I might get up the gumption to get a call board. We'll see.
That's all good. The chat's great. Yeah.
Oh, I love the chat. And everybody's always so wonderful and warm and friendly in the chat. And I better keep an eye on the time so we don't go, I just literally, Jess, 11:11.
Of course. Of course.
Synchronicities everywhere. My goodness.
And we will keep an eye on time because I know I will have to Zoom maybe a few minutes before the top of the hour. I literally have to go to a Zoom.
No worries.
That's life is being on Zooms these days.
I know mine is becoming that way as well, for sure. So
it's a blessing. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your origins, Jess. How did you even end up on this path of spiritual ascension, self-ascension?
Thank you. I love this question. And in a galaxy long ago, far away, yeah, it began. You know, I always kind of like wonder, it depends how I look at my life, where it started, right? I mean, definitely, like a lot of our listeners, I'm sure you were intuitive, sensitive children that understood there was something more going on in the world, and many of us shut that down because it wasn't safe to be that way, right? So when I really did. I didn't get raised in a religious household or anything, but I was always thinking about, what's this concept of God? I don't know if I believe, most people where I lived are Christian. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that, but I mean, I was going to churches just trying to figure out stuff myself for a long time, and then I went through my coming of age years and all that and was a wild child, and good times. And it really was after I had my children, my first son. I mean, it was a very spiritual experience. Not everyone's birth feels that way necessarily. And my birth story was very traumatic, actually, how it was. I had to move through that. But the actual moment I saw him, like I did, it was just kind of like, okay, I understand what matters and what doesn't now. And that really started shifting my perspective. And I was in a very, like I've shared this story before on Soul Mirrors with Kira. I mean, I was in a very unhealthy, toxic, abusive marriage at that point, living in Costa Rica. Also having a fabulous time, it was wild, but I was really very much like stuck. And then I had two babies there and everything else. And it was a moment of like, it got to the time of, I couldn't get the resources together or myself together to leave. I kept talking about it, thinking about it. And I was home visiting in Michigan. I would travel back and visit every so often with the kids. And I went to a group with a circle of women, and they were reading. And they were reading out of a book. It was Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And
I like that book.
Yeah. And I had never encountered it before. And it was a chapter about like gratitude and bless your bills, right? And you have the money to pay them. And at the time for me, I was like, wow, that's radical. Like, like really to think about that. Like I have the money to pay, and whatever else was shared in that chapter, right? It really resonated. And I was like, I need this book. I need this book. And I went to the bookstore at the mall, and it was $18 or whatever. And I have like $2, I'm like, I'm looking at it, but I'm like, I don't have the money to buy this book. And a few days later I went, rummage sailing, and it was like a for donation rummage sale. And I'm not even kidding. There was stacks of books, and it was sitting like upright, it was just like sitting there, like looking at me. The very first thing I encountered walking in was a copy of that book for $2. And interestingly, I can't find that copy. I know. And I can't find that copy now. It comes and goes. It goes to somebody else. And then sometimes it comes back. I don't even know where it is, but I highlighted it. I read it. The Healing Your Inner Child. I brought it back to Costa Rica, and I was living in the jungle with babies. We had no cable. We had no internet. I was home long days, and I just soaked up everything. And then I met, we moved to an area where there was actually like a yoga studio and things. And I started meditating.
Nice.
Yeah. And I started meditating with a woman there, and I got serious about, because my life was just so like, right. That's like the moment when our life is just like, I have nothing else to do but like dig in. And I started having the most profound experiences of my life, and the meditations and everything else were just amazing. And I went to a point of just like such clarity. I like let go. There wasn't even no more fighting in the relation. Nothing. I was just like, I'll just know the truth. I know that I'm getting ready to go when the time comes. But I'm so focused on me. It was like some of the best time of my life with my kids. And then when the moment came that it was like, the universe was like, holy shit, like, look at this. You got to look at this now. And I was gone. I was like, I moved like within 3 days. I was like, I had bought a plane ticket, was gone with the babies and back in the States, and that was such a catalyst, was going through an experience that was so hard and I don't want to tell anybody in my world like how awful it really was or anything, right? So I was like completely isolated in so many ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, and with little babies. And I had to go into spirit, and it was so deep. It awakened so much. And then I like hung around there for a while, but I moved back and went through that. And it really was another catalyst moment when I went back for my master's degree. That was wild, trying to do that with kids. I did it. I finished, and then I did not get my quote unquote dream job. It was like in my field that was in this area. Very, very few jobs with a master's in this degree are going to come up in this area. So I was like, oh my God, I could like have the house. I could have, everything for my kids. And I was runner up and I lost the position, and it like crushed me. It crushed me like in every way possible. And that was the time that I was introduced to Sri and Kira's work and the Yoga of Self Ascension. And that just took whatever I had done in Costa Rica. We'll just hang out till Angela comes back. Her connection just went away. That just took whatever had happened in Costa Rica for me and catapulted me into that path of self ascension. So at that moment, it was like all the switches came on, all the light switches were like, boom, boom, boom. I knew that this was my home. And there I was, single momming it, but also just accelerating in my path so much, so I love these questions, and I love hearing other people's stories of what got them on this journey and path. I knew it as soon as I started connecting. I took Navigating the Inner Matrix. I took every course available. And then I was there studying in person. Within a year, I was working with clients, and I became a birth doula actually first before I hung up my shingle as an energy healer or energy worker. And there I was, supporting people in birth work, supporting women having babies, and taking all of these classes to be a healer. So I know it's through the moments, like both times it was like two key catalyst events that catapulted my awakening. And they were because my life circumstances were so uncomfortable and so difficult that I had nothing else to do but look within and receive the guidance and support that was out there through the books, the teachers, the beings that were here. Right. So it looks like Angela's coming back in. I've been playing host while she got popped out.
Thank you. I actually have, because we're in the country here and we don't necessarily have fabulous internet, I actually have two internet systems up and running just to make sure that I can do this. And one's by satellite and one's just through DSL. So I apologize, everybody, but hang in there. Jess knows what she's doing. So I had no worries whatsoever that you were in good hands.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wrapped up the the story time and was sharing that it is through those challenging moments. Like those are two key catalyst events for me. But it's like the way we learn as humans is through contrast, and we'll just keep going along feeling uncomfortable for a long time. But if we're really uncomfortable, if we're really in pain, whatever type of pain that is, then we have to confront ourselves and look, so that's so often how it goes with these stories. I know all of you listening out there have your stories too. It's like it usually takes something major happening to us in order to
almost
up.
like a surrender, a big saw. It's like I'm just gonna let this go and I'm just going to surrender to the moment. And that's basically again how I found Sri and Kara. It was just letting go and surrendering to the moment, and then all of a sudden it was there, and whoa, and then the synchronicities start happening. Did you Were you always able to connect with the energies? Were you always able to be more aware necessarily than the average child? I know sensitivity is definitely up there high, but some people are even capable of going beyond that. And I was just wondering if that was something that you were even able to do at a young age.
Yeah, when I started to have memories come back to me, I absolutely remember so much. And really being like such an observer witness of all that was going on around me and the adults around me, and just being like, what are these people doing? This is just, it was very difficult, like being that sensitive, and having a lot of ability to connect. I was always outside. I mean, like that was my thing. You know, I was always outside and talked to the trees and the animals and you know, guides and whatever. That was my sanctuary, was to be out and about. So yeah, I mean, I think all children, I mean, we're all sensitive and intuitive, but I did have a lot of pretty high sensitivity, and before I kind of learned to shut that down.
I'm just reading some of the beautiful. I've lost some of them, unfortunately, because of when I lost my connection. But I'm just looking at some of them. Oma Ra is here, and she says,
I
"When the
know. Hi,
student is
Amara.
ready, the teacher appears. So true, we are guided." And Batia is giving love out to everyone, and Oma Ra and Gary is here as well. And I know Lynn is here. Namaste, everyone. You're just such beautiful people, and I'm just so pleased that and so honored that you would listen to the show today. So you found Sri and you started, did you take a course right away, or did you just start slowly reading? Did you jump into the pool, or did you just dip your toe in?
It was very fast. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was very fast. I was actually working with, because of the job that I did not get, I started to have, and because I wasn't so busy getting my master's degree or leaving the marriage, and all of a sudden I had time, I was waking up every day with just the anxiety was so intense. Like I could hardly breathe from the second I woke up, and I had to fight through it every day. And I was like, there's got to be a different way. I was always into natural healing or modalities, not really one to go to the doctor to address it. And there was a healer that I had seen, experienced in the community, was always like, wow, she is like so shiny, you know, and she got put in my path a couple times right then, you know, and it was like a mutual acquaintance. I was like, give me her number, you know, and at the time I'm like, how am I going to afford this? But it was like tax return time or something, right?
Yeah.
And I went to like an initial session, and I immediately had such shift. And she was a student and is a student and teacher of the Yoga of Self Ascension. I didn't know all of that at the time, but whatever happened in that session was so profound that I, you know, went back for a few months. I was going weekly and did an Atlantean healing chamber process, but she would have class. She had a workshop right off the bat I took too. And she would have quotes, Sri Ramka, you know, or she'd like, I'd be sharing something and she's like, you know, she'd reference one of their YouTube videos, like, you know, the Sri and Kira who I'm, you know, following. So she introduced them that way. And it was like very fast. And I was like, I got to check these people out. Cause every time like she said something, it would just ping. And I watched a YouTube video and I think I was just like, oh my God, like like this is everything, right? And it was right when they were teaching like a new round of navigating the inner matrix. And actually Sue Sturdivant was becoming like a coach and leading her own live group. And I did that. I just dived into that. My life changed so fast. I'm not even kidding. Within 1 year, I was in Guatemala. I mean, it was like right after that I was like, okay, I'm going to be a birth doula. I get it. I went and did the training, and I started, and they offered some other trainings. I think it was cosmic life regression, ascended numerology. Maybe the first time I just took every single thing. Yeah. It was just immediate.
Yeah. I was a toe dipper.
That's good to dip your toes in.
I was a toe. Well, I was of a lot like you, very open as a child, but I did go to church a little bit when I was younger, and I developed a really great relationship just by reading a children's Bible of my own with the Christ energy. And then when I got to the church, I wasn't necessarily feeling the Christ energy any longer. And so I went on a lifelong mission to find the goddess and to find that Christ energy. And so I was never one to pigeonhole myself into having a teacher. I learned and studied Wicca. and nature religions. And I also have a degree in ancient history. So that's where I was coming from. And I hadn't really committed. And it wasn't until a year ago that I actually committed myself. So there you say a year. In a year, it's amazing how, if you want to commit yourself to yourself, to your own self ascension, if you don't want to follow the Yoga of Self Ascension like Sri and Kira, find a system that works for you and that helps you ascend. And in a year, and you commit yourself to that. Wow. In a year, you wouldn't believe the changes that you can make in your life. It is truly, truly amazing. So here you are now. You're a minister of Yoga Self Ascension. How long have you been a minister now?
Oh gosh, I think probably 8 years, 7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So you've been with Sri and Kira and following the Yoga Self Ascension how many years now?
It's been a decade. Yeah. It was 2012. It was
wow.
it was right around 2012. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of 2012, look what I just got in the mail.
Oh, excellent. You found a copy for yourself. Hooray.
I did. I think it was, trying to remember who it was. I think it was Belle Devi had mentioned on chat once that you could try the Amazon. So I immediately, as soon as we were done with that show, I immediately went went on Amazon and I ordered it right away, because I didn't, and I think it was the only one that was there. So I was like, yay!
Meant for you. That's incredible. That really is incredible.
I know. I was so happy to be able to find it. I have a couple of their books off of Kobo, but I'm glad that I was able. But you couldn't get this one even on a Kobo or anything anymore. So I was very happy to have got that. So yes, I'm going to start reading. I'm currently in Mayan Sunrise, so that'll be next.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the energy that's contained in those books and texts is transformational. You know, it's like you feel it when you're reading it.
It truly, truly is. So now to the best part of all. I would love to hear what you have been up to in the last 6 months. I think it's been nearly 6 months now since you've become president of Avesa International. I would love to hear more about that, your role, Clinical Linda. Go.
Yeah, probably you're right. It's probably us closing in on 6 months here since I
think
took that mantle. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big one to own and claim too. You know, it's and it was a decision I had time to think about. You know, it wasn't an overnight like, hey, you're gonna do this. I mean, I really had to think about it. You know, and it was last summer I was walking and meditating on just knowing how huge it is, because this role is, you know, I mean, we have to kind of have these labels of the world because we have a white paper and we have a business and all these things. And to really claim that, you know, what it is to be the president, it's that holding the self ascension and making sure that, you know, all aspects of what we're creating and doing and who we're working with, it translates, you know, and that we keep the container, the energies, the sacredness that is this teachings like intact, you know, so generations to come will have this support. And I knew like the offer was on the table beforehand, you know, that I was being prepared in many ways. And I went out on some walks, and every walk I went on, 3 walks in a row, 3 different locations, a snake crossed my path. You know, it was just, and it was so, yep. And I was just like, I know what this means. It's so powerful. Right. And I was like, the first time, and I never, like, I just talked about this on my show the other day. I never see snakes up here on the hiking path. You might see them in your garden or something. They're not out. There's just not that many, and you don't see them on the path ever. In fact, a few weeks before, I was walking with a friend who warned me that she's so scared of snakes, she might trample me if we see one. And I said, Well, don't worry. I never see snakes. It didn't happen on that trip, thank God. But I was like, I never see snakes when I'm walking. Don't worry. And
Mm-hmm.
then it was like a week or so later that it happened. I was like, oh, thank God she wasn't here. But like, I was like, that's crazy. And I was like paying attention, obviously, and it crossed directly in front of my path,
Yeah.
And then the next day it was 3 days in a row too, but I was like in a totally different geographical locale, and I'm walking, and again, right in front of my path, I'm like, all right. I was like, if you do it to me 3 times, I'll really get it. And then it happened the next day. I was like, shit. Okay. And that's why I got that tattoo at New Year's. I mean, it's the reminder of the transformation and what we say yes to. So, it's kind of like working up to that moment, and then to really accept it and take it on. It's not something I do lightly, or
Yes.
yeah, it's like, it mean when we take on, whether it's, this role, or you guys are whatever you're doing in your life, but when you take on a new role, becoming a mom, or new job, new or big move, or anything, I mean, everything gets shaken up, we have to look at ourselves again, and we have to really recommit on a new level. And there's moments where I'm like, good Lord, what am I saying yes to? What am I saying yes to? But also it's one of those, really wish I would have, or really glad I did moments. And I know I'm really glad I did, right? I would always really wish I would have, there's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal, so I care immensely about the community. I care immensely that more beings are able to find the teachings of self ascension, because it really is non-dogmatic. I mean, really, if whatever people are resonant with in their life, or spirit, or creator, they can apply yoga of self ascension in their life in such a meaningful way. There's just nothing like this teaching, and every fiber of my being does know, like, I'm like, it would be just like me to come here and do something like this. And I'm like, the rest of me, the ego human part of me, I mean, like, through grad school, I would almost throw up every day because I had to teach as part of my grad school.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
public speaking, teaching, any of it, I was horrified, terrified. I was on the verge of it was the only time I ever went and asked for medication for something. It was that bad. It was so bad. And I had to like force myself through it because I paid for my grad school. It was part of my grad school. And if I hadn't gone through, I mean, by the end of the 2 years, I was able to like go in and whip a lesson out of my pocket, or whatever. But because of that experience, it lined me up. But it's like kind of crazy to think, like, here I am all the time, like in front of people talking, like doing it, and I still get anxious, so there's that little, like, it's like excitement, anxiety are the same energy. It's just kind of which way you look at it,
Yep.
but it's crazy. It would not have been in my normal nature. Like, I'm not the person's like, I want to be the general. I want to be the president. I want to like run the company. I was never that person. I'd be like, let me just do my thing over here behind the scenes and nobody pay attention to me. Okay. That's perfect. So it is definitely in, a little bit of conflict to what my personality self would have ever chosen, but of course I myself,
Everything's perfect.
yeah,
Everything's perfect.
and who wants a leader or somebody that's like actually like, no, I'm the leader. I think most leaders in history, you're a history buff, right? Some of the most amazing leaders in our times, of all our times, they were the ones that had to rise to the occasion because they were there, not because they said, oh, I'm claiming the role of the leader. A lot of those ones were dictators, right? So it's like looking at the ones that really are just, and that's you all out there too. You're a leader in your own way, but it's like you get called to rise to something, and that's where it's coming from, integrity. You know, it's not coming from a sense of self-importance or anything. That would be like the last thing I ever would have wanted, was for everyone to look at me. Like, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I was, again, a little opposite to you, where I made everybody look at me. So I was in theater and doing all of those things
Yeah.
as a child, but I was using it as a cover for me. Do you know what I mean? So it, again, a little different, but we still kind of come around to the same place.
Yeah. Hiding in a different way, hiding
Exactly.
in the open.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's what it was. It was completely hiding in the open. It was.
Yeah.
A perfect way of putting it. I never thought of it until that, like that. That perfect, perfect. So tell us about Clinical Linda. I would love to hear it from your mouth.
Yes, thank you. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to share with
Oh
everybody.
yes.
And I mean, we've regulars, but new people show up, and you know, it's incredible what's happening.
Mm.
So Clinical Linda, those of you that are tuned into the Sri and Kira audience and here at Oneness Talk Radio, you probably are aware that we're doing pretty incredible things. And this little clinic started from the most humble of beginnings. We didn't even have a bathroom. Yeah, we didn't even have a bathroom to start with. We just had like a little room, you know, and it grew so fast. And so the clinic, you know, it's really Avesa International and Clinical Linda are tied together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Clinical Linda is like the free services, offering pain care, pain relief to Indigenous and underserved populations through modern laser therapy and the Egyptian healing rods. And that has been huge to see the blessing of those two technologies together. The science of the Egyptian healing rods is so, you know, ancient, yet like it's so powerful. And when you combine, when somebody's holding those rods, I mean, it's acting like an acupuncture on the nervous system and facilitating the flow while they're receiving laser treatment. They don't have to believe in spirituality. We're not telling them they have to do anything, but those tools support
Together.
Yes, so much. And when we're serving in Ecuador, so Clinic Linda's in Ecuador at Tosa Blue Mountain, but we also now have our first mobile clinic. So once a week, we're in Paute, serving out of a physical therapist's office. And the mayor, everyone like loves it. It's like, I think Americans there's a bigger population, you know, like we're nudging, and it's probably like this in Canada, I don't know, but like there's more momentum around natural health, and people want answers outside of like the medical system. They're like, okay, this is getting me nowhere. But there really is not even like any question with the Ecuadorian population that we serve. They're just like, oh, okay, this will help me. And their healing is so fast, they accept it. So I mean, anyone will get results, but there is this level of openness where like Americans a lot of times like, okay, I'm pretty skeptical, you know, like some of the first timers at my office would just be like, okay, like I am here, but like I'm not sure till you convince, you know, show me, you know. And so that's what's beautiful, is to also just see like how rapid the results are, and the success stories are incredible. I mean, we have people that went from, you know, pretty much like immobile to walking. And that's not all the time that this happens with these treatments, but that has happened a lot, where like, a person not walking, not being able to move their neck or anything, their family crying because all of a sudden they're like turning their head to speak to them, you know. People they come together, you know, their family comes, they bring food. It's like the clinic days are like these beautiful little
festival days,
gatherings. And it's so precious and beautiful, and it's all donation funded. It's all on you know, and we're set to really expand, and it's the Avesa Quantum Healing Institute, you know, and that's about the schools and the teachings, and also providing healings to those that have the means that they want to pay. They can have a membership, and you could go walk into any Avesa healing center anywhere and receive, you know, and you could have a balancing, you could have laser treatment. There can be other complementary modalities, chiropractic care, massage care, classes, the classroom, so it's a very exciting, and we are like in that active birthing of it all.
Yeah, all around the world too. It's not just, in South America or North America. You're wanting to open Avesa centers and clinical Lindas all over the world.
Yes.
And that's what you're working towards, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I have to add in the caveat now is the pyramid project, because that is up leveling the Avesa International Clinical Linda and changing a little bit. And we're in the process of right now up leveling that vision, because the centers, some of them are going to be pyramids. Some of them are there's a pyramid of peace being built. This Sunday is the groundbreaking. Yep. Noon Eastern time. Please be there. It's like Sunday service with Shri and Kira, but it's not even the regular Sunday service. It's a live groundbreaking ceremony. Kenyari elders are going to be there. That sounds like the musicians are showing up. The architect of the pyramid, Daniel Ugalde, he is the most amazing being on the planet. And also
the pictures were stunning.
And then Farzine and Kava, they own the coffee shop. They're
Yemen, right?
Iranian, yeah.
I can't wait to taste their
I know. You've got to come. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean,
I'm getting there.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gluten free, though, I mean, unfortunately, I think she has a few things maybe that are, but her date rules are insane. But oh my God. Yeah. So incredible. So they're all going to be on live. It's very much a celebration, because this pyramid is where the rods will be created and charged. We're going to be able to bring them to Tosa and create them. And it's a really uniquely designed pyramid, of course. It's all natural materials, no metal used at all. It's bamboo, it's bararique, it's our indigenous neighbors are helping. It's 72 feet tall. And think about a dozen of these being built on the planet. Think about that. They're going to absolutely uplift the frequency of our planet, and anyone that's anywhere near the vicinity is going to be receiving an infusion. I mean, can you even imagine what's going to happen there in Ecuador once this thing
goes up?
Is done? I mean, it's going to be beaming, and yeah, it's wild. And then we can charge the rods and the different healing jewelry we have, and really offer people tools for their ascension that really, really help,
Yes.
Yeah.
I've just recently taken the energy healer balancing lessons myself, and I've worked through them. And I can't wait to get my tools. I can't wait to get my Egyptian healing rods. It was amazing when I learned and listening to Shri talk about the Egyptian healing rods. And he said, have you ever seen pictures or sculptures of people holding these two rods down beside their sides? And I'm like, yes. And I have always wondered what those are. And then he goes on to tell you what they are. And it's just amazing. Again, it's just all these things that you would notice throughout your lifetime. And you've always kind of wondered, especially I studied ancient history, was my specialty. So I even wondered even more. So when I learned about the ancient Egyptian healing rods and their ability to hold the resonance of the crystals inside and to vibrate even further, can you explain even more so than I can, because I won't do it justice?
Yeah. There's a unique frequency to the crystals. There's a unique frequency to the materials, and there's a science in the formula. It's a combination of ancient wisdom combined with the energy that's like, these tools are made available to us to help us remember and to help support our bodies. Like the archangelic realm knows it's going to be hard here. They know it's going to be difficult here. And we have things made available to us, or whatever you want to call the other realms, the universe. So, through many, 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 many years, I mean, humans have been experimenting and learning these wisdoms, and then sometimes we kind of forget them. But now at this time, it's like we have the science and the wisdom and the ascended energies coming together in a way that allows us to really understand what we're doing. It's, it's not just woo woo, and I think the world's moving to that point where it's like, it's not just woo woo, and there's a lot of interest in crystals and healing and all of that. So, it really is, I'm not the scientist, but Bree's the geek about all of that. And I would take his crystals healing class to really dive into that. But when we work with the tools, they respond to us. And as we work with them, there's a amplification that happens of the crystals, the tools themselves, the construction. All of the rods have particular formulas to them, and then Rudraksha and crystals, when we're wearing them, they are supporting, it's all supporting our energy field. So we have a little less work we have to do in order to connect. We still have to do our work, and they work with us and expand with us. So I don't know if that helps answer your question.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Because I've been using crystals now for 30 years in my practice through Wicca, but I've never, something that has been co-created with the crystals and the metals in mind to work together like that. So I've only worked with the natural raw product and the natural. So I can't wait to see what the human co-creation with the metals and the crystals can do. I just can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to have them either. You're going to go, how did I live my life without these? Because they are like, and they're a lifetime, it's like you've got powerful, medicine in your hands that really supports your connection with yourself, with, your meditation, with your guides. And then can also be used for healing. And like you've taken Avesa energy healing. So, they can be a personal tool. Some people get them for themselves and their personal benefit, but some people are using them as healers to support other in their healing path. And they're just extremely versatile. And there's so many other companies, places making them now, but nobody is making them nobody's making them in the pyramids, doing what we do with them. Yep, there are. So, I mean, if you go out there and try to like buy a set off Amazon, they are on there, but they're not gonna do for you. They're not, I mean, not like they would hurt, some crystals or, whatever, but they're not at all holding that frequency, so it's, and even the pyramid we're making, the design is so unique. It's like, it's even going to be more charged than the one we were using in Russia for our products, that we've had a partnership with a long time where we've been creating them. This pyramid's going to be a completely different energy.
I'm just can't wait to get to Ecuador at some point here in my life in the future. I am putting it out there.
Hold the vision. Hold the vision. Please come. Like once you get there, I mean, honestly, it's a get your plane ticket and then you're taken care of. You get picked up at the airport. You go right to the site. You're there in the most incredible place, and the energy there, I can't even imagine what's going to be like once the pyramid's there. It's already so multidimensional. Like if somebody goes there and doesn't experience some kind of opening of their heart or experience, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's not going to happen maybe this lifetime then, because it's so weird. Like even when we show pictures from there, and I post things, I'm like, there's no filter on these. It just looks like you're in Willy Wonka's candy land factory or something. Everything, the colors, you walk around, you're like, really? Is that the color of that? Yes. Everything glows in this crystalline light.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. And that sanctuary, just so people that don't know, that's Tosa Blue Mountain, and it's in Ecuador. So by all means, Google it. It's a beautiful sanctuary in and of itself, but it also is the head of Yoga of Self Ascension and Avesa International. So I just wanted to let you know, Jess, because it's we've got 8 minutes to the top of the hour, so I wasn't sure what your timing was, and I know that you wanted to kind of skip out early. Is there anything else that you would like to just offer the guests today, or the listeners today?
Yeah, I'm so grateful to have been here. I can't believe how fast the time is going.
I know.
It's so
I was
fun.
looking at it going, oh no. Well, that's why
I
I wanted to
know.
get through this stuff at the beginning so that I could have you as much as I could
Oh,
on.
yeah, no, it's so fun. I'm so happy to be here, and having known you, through the journey and how we've connected and shared with one another. It's amazing to see you, and I'm so grateful you have your show and your space here and you're supporting other beings, and yeah, I just would love to share with everyone. Big weekend. I mean, really ascended abundance on Saturday. That's go to shriankira.com if you have not registered or checked this out. I mean, this really, there's a lot of talk about love, attraction and all of that. This is ascended. This is like outside of any limitation. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And then Sunday, we have the groundbreaking of the pyramid. Show up at YouTube, watch it, official Shri and Kira at noon on Sunday, and then I'm going to do full moon ceremony on Sunday at 4. And we have full moon, we have a lunar eclipse, we've got retrograde. So, if you're feeling it out there, I feel you. I know it. It's intense. It is intense. I'm not going to sit here and tell you a bunch of BS, but it's all easy all the time. But when it's easy, it sure is. And we know the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the resources and support and everything is coming in. I feel very optimistic seeing how much is expanding on our planet. All of you doing what you're doing are making a difference.
Amazing community.
It is. It's incredible. And the unification energy. So it's worth it. And there's times where it is hard work. I mean, taking this path, it's people are lying if they tell you it's easy. You're going to have.
I think I mentioned it to you earlier in the week that it was like trudging through oatmeal up to my neck.
Yeah, there are those moments, right? We've gotten like, you just kind of keep going until you have that click or that moment or the right thing comes through, and if you just keep being open, do the practices that resonate for you. Like you shared earlier, stay with a path, be committed to you. And really everything else goes from there. This is the choice month. Like, what are you choosing every day? What are you choosing? What are you choosing for you? You're making a choice whether you're conscious or not. So like, be more conscious about it because you're going to have a lot better time.
Yeah. Just Omar said, trust is love is trust. And Lynn is saying, thank you, Jess, thank you. And Gary says, yes, thank you, oneness, I love you, and this beautiful family of lights and love, namaste. So this is a beautiful community. It's
loving you all so much. And I do have to jettison to another call and get ready for that. So I'm just so grateful to have been here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess, for being here. And maybe we'll try and get you on again sometime in the future.
Sounds fun.
If you're not too busy.
That sounds fun. It's a good time. It's a great reprieve, honestly. So I love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, then we'll definitely try and get you back. Yeah.
Thank you. Much love, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste, Jess. Oh, I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I hope you were as inspired by Jess. Jess really is the epitome of trust of oneself and one's own guidance. She is truly a teacher, a mentor, and a healer. And I'm just beyond honored that she agreed to be a guest on the show. I just want to leave again with you, kind of reiterate what Jess said. Be kind to yourself. It is a Mercury retrograde started on the 9th. So the energies are out there and they're rocking and rolling. So just hang on, deep Avesa breaths. Go into the infinite and crystalline energy of the 8 today and to use it to help you anchor into that sea of neutrality, so that we can again meet and move forward and not worry necessarily about the negative energies coming in on us. If we can just keep going and we can just expand into light and love, we'll get through this Mercury retrograde. I know we will. And these fascinating energies. Also, on a note, last week I spoke about the divine feminine, and I had mentioned a fabulous song if you're all interested in it. It's by Sheffy Orn Bach, and it's called the Grandmother Song. But I also thought I'd share with you a song that I like to listen to for the divine masculine, and it is an a Latvian song, and it's called Ozolini. And so it's Ozolini, if you ever want to look it up. And it's all about oak trees and the power of oak trees. And it's a very beautiful song that uplifts you and makes you want to go out and be that warrior spirit that you have inside of you. It really gets that fire burning deep in the belly. So I recommend listening to that, both those songs, if you ever want to try and tap into the divine masculine or the divine feminine, or find songs that help you tap into these energies yourself. Go out there and experiment. What really calls to you? The planet is really calling out to us. Gaia is wanting all the extra love that we can give her right now. So tapping into the divine feminine is definitely a beautiful way of spending your time and your energy. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. If you have any questions, you can go to my website at water of self ascension.ca. Or you can also reach out to me on my email address, which is waterlightandlove@gmail.com. So everyone have a beautiful, lovely day. And until next Thursday, we will be having Jim Onek, who I believe, and he is the creator of the laser that we were speaking about that we use in Clinical Linda. And again, I can't wait to share his story with you. So until next week, have a lovely, lovely day. Namaste.